That's right guys, in this video I will share what calorie calculators we can use so we can quickly identify how much calories we need to consume on a daily basis to make sure we lose weight. But we're not gonna stop there, because after 6 years of coaching experience, I found that most people don't know what to do with these numbers. The reality is calorie calculators gives you an estimate that is not really accurate, and the chances are you're going to fail if you don't do the one next step, which is even more important, to identify how much you should be consuming and if you're consuming the right amount of food to lose weight. So watch this video until the end. I will share the calorie calculators that you need to use and the secrets about the tracking that most people are missing out. And please, if you like information like this and you want to lose weight, subscribe to this channel. You support me and I promise to deliver a lot of future content like this that will help you really do the things right and not get blinded by a lot of clickbait information and false advertisements. So let's dive into it. We use calorie calculators to identify how many calories are we burning on a daily basis and to know how much we need to reduce them to lose weight and how much we need to increase them to gain weight or build muscle. Calories is the energy unit that we use to identify how much energy is in the food and how much we're consuming. But what you need to be aware of is when you read the labels on the food, it does say kilocalories, but we do say calories instead. The reason for that is simply because that's how the English language is, and people got used to saying just calories because it's much easier. There's no scientific meaning behind it. We do say calories, but we actually mean kilocalories. So make sure you're aware of that. The reason we focus on counting calories when losing weight is because that is the driving factor. Many studies have been conducted over the years to identify what is really the one thing that is going to guarantee us we lose weight or gain weight if we do it right. And the answer is that the calories have to be lower than what we're burning. It is a very simple math. And the reason why a lot of the diets that you might have heard of actually work is because they put you on a calorie deficit. Carnivore diet puts you on a calorie deficit. Keto diet puts you on a calorie deficit. Vegan diet puts you on a caloric deficit. Whatever diet you choose, if it works for you, it's because it puts you on a caloric deficit. Besides some other benefits that might bring, or maybe sometimes not even benefits, but actually hurting you. But I'm not gonna dive into the diets right now. Let's focus on the calories. To track and calculate our calories and how much we're burning on a daily basis, there are a few formulas that we can use to do this manually, but I think it's pointless. And trying to identify which one is the best is also pointless. Watch this video by the end, you will know why. With that being said, I highly recommend you track your calories for some period of time, even if you know that you can lose weight without tracking, because really you can if you can just reduce the food that you eat and you're gonna start losing weight. But tracking brings you benefits. After the first 6 months of my personal experience with tracking calories, I discovered that it's not the management that was the greatest benefit, not the fact that I was managing my calories with precision and getting the result, but actually the knowledge and experience that was coming up with it. That knowledge still stays with me and it helps me moving forward for the rest of my life. And that is simply the knowledge of understanding the foods that you eat. Because if you think about the process that you will be going through when tracking your calories on a daily basis, you will figure that you might actually learn everything about the food that you eat. You probably have about 50 ingredients that you have in your diet right now. And maybe you cook them in many different ways and you have many different dishes, but the ingredients will not be that many. We only have like 5 to 10 sources of protein, 10 sources of carbohydrates, 10 different vegetables and fruits, and it's like the number is not that great. And when you're putting these ingredients every single day to the app, sometimes even a couple of times a day, every time you're seeing how many calories are inside, how much carbohydrates, fats, protein, salts, everything, and depending on how much attention you pay, and then you learn all this information through repetition. And I think this is super valuable then, because then moving forward in life, you're not going to be just confused and blinded by the next advertising of this healthy product or weight loss product or this diet or that training protocol that promote magical results where you know it's actually all based on a caloric deficit. Yes, it also is important that you eat healthy and you maintain a functioning body so it can lose weight, and you do that through picking the right foods and healthy foods and so on, but it's gonna come down to calories management. And if you see yourself in future gaining a little bit of weight, you know that you've been consuming more calories or not the right foods, and you can just switch them up. And in that way, habitually, you learn to maintain the weight without gaining it all back. So calculating your calories, it's fairly simple and you can do it in under 2 minutes. All you have to do is go to Google and search for TDEE, Total Daily Energy Expenditure Calculator. A lot of websites offer this for free. Just search for a free version, click on the first website that comes up and fill out the forms. It's going to ask you for your age, your sex, your height, your weight and your activity level, and it's going to give you your total daily energy expenditure in calories, and also will recommend how much you should be eating for weight loss and how much you should be eating for muscle building. But that is only step one for the identify how much you're burning. The reality is these are all estimations. They're not accurate numbers. So if you just go by them blindly, you might find out that you're not getting the results that you want. And then if you don't hear what I have to say now, you will say the calorie tracking doesn't really work. Calories don't matter, calories are not important. As the many myths that we've already heard about it, which is totally false. They work. It's just that you're not tracking them properly. So to identify really how much you should be eating, then you need to track your progress over the few days period. I recommend 3 to 5 days. The way you do this is start tracking first of all your calories religiously for 3 to 5 days. Don't miss anything. All the drinks and foods that have calories, track them with calorie tracking apps that are also free. And I have one video here that is with free calorie tracking apps that I recommend, that I use with my clients. Very easy and simple to use. Watch it, you can use one of them and start tracking your calories. With that, you have to also track your weight. Track your weight frequently throughout the week. Try to track it at the same time of the day. First time in the morning, after you wake up. So there's not much fluctuations. And by the end of the 3 to 5 days period, you can see the average trend line. Is it moving down or up or staying the same? If your weight is staying the same, then the calories that you've chosen to go with are not deficit enough. You might be even eating on a surplus, and all you have to do is reduce them. My recommendation is reduce them with chunks up to maximum of 100 calories at a time. So let's say you've been consuming 2000 calories these 5 days, and you see that your weight is exactly the same. You say, I will now reduce them down to 1900 and stay with 1900 for another 2-3 days. See if the scale moves down. If it starts moving, then you're on the right track. Ideally, in best case scenario, you're going to start losing significant amount of weight during the first week, and then the rate of weight loss is going to slow down but continue steadily with a speed of about 1 to 2 pounds per week. Anything more than 2 pounds per week is very aggressive, and the chances are you're going to fail because you're going to burn out and you're not going to be able to manage the load. But that's a whole another topic. By the way, on another topic, this whole journey of weight loss is actually complex. You will face a lot of challenges like this, and if you are not able to put them all together, you might be spinning in circles and trying to figure out what's going on every other week and lose a lot of time, maybe years, and maybe never achieving your goals. So it's important you understand how to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, including your mindset, sleep, hydration, exercise, training, that, and doing them right to fit your lifestyle, your family, your work, and all that combined, so you can actually lose weight, transform yourself, and become a better version. Oh, that is a lot, but I've made it simple. There's a free course that you can find on my website. You can watch without signing up, and it's going to teach you all these things. So I think it's very valuable, and if you're somebody who is serious, I highly recommend you go check it out. And with that being said, I think I made it very clear. First step is you track your calorie, you calculate your calories with one of the calculators found online. And second step is start tracking your calories and track your weight and identify if the calories that you're consuming are actually putting you on a deficit enough for you to lose weight. And if it's not enough, then make adjustments. One other thing, last thing that you need to pay attention to and keep in mind is that your metabolic rate will change over a period of time, depending on your activity level or depending on your weight. If, for example, you lose 10 pounds of weight, you're going to become much more efficient. Your body will burn less calories in a 24-hour cycle with the same activity level, which will lead to you plateauing. And then you have to remember, hey, I lost some weight. You're probably burning less calories. You have to adjust the calories again. And you can only do that if you continuously track your weight. So my advice is finally take this as a project and track everything. Track your weight, track your calories, track your exercise regimen, and make sure you monitor everything so you know if something is going wrong, then you can adjust things. And the way to do that is a bit more complex, and I teach you in the course, so go check out my course. And with that being said, yes, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next video.